Hello.
Hello, everybody. Apologies, we're a couple of minutes late. What's wrong, Alan?
Oh, can I swear? Like
No.
a light swear word.
What, bugger?
Oh, poo.
Poo.
You know what? We try our hardest here. I've got a background in technology, and I don't even know if you can see us yet. We try our hardest to be as clever and as ultimately for quality. Slick, yeah. And you've got black pepper in your tooth. Mm-hmm. Sorry, we've just been eating black pepper and haggis crisps.
No one can see from that far. I think we're okay.
Yeah.
So yes, the tech didn't work. Just like last week when Alan wasn't here and the tech didn't work. It wasn't my fault.
No.
Still not my fault. It's just the tech.
No, I know. I don't know why. Perhaps I need some new tech. That's what I'm going to say. So, I know you can see us. I know you can hear us because I've just turned it down. So we've actually got quite a lot to talk about, haven't we?
Loads.
Yeah, like loads and loads and loads. We've got a question, which is fab. So if you've got a question and you want to post it in, then please just type it in now and we will answer it. It will pop up.
So we keep looking down because the computer screen's down there today. So we keep looking down to see if anyone was coming up and saying anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the penultimate Ask an Expert. So we've got one more after this before we have our little Christmas sabbatical, I suppose. Just a little bit of time where we can have some time with the kids, and we're going to go and do some fun stuff and maybe be out having Christmas parties and drinking more wine.
We're not doing all of that between 8 and 8:30 on a Wednesday night, though, are we?
But we could do.
No, we could do. The kids are in bed. We are going to be sitting there watching Christmas films.
This is it. We are on our run up to Christmas, watching Christmas films. To be fair, we've been watching Christmas films since about October.
I think it was October 26th. We watched Arthur Christmas.
We watched Arthur Christmas twice. The Polar Express. A couple
of Netflix ones. The Advent Calendar one on
Netflix. Dodgy Netflix, like Hallmark cards.
They are terrible, but we love them, don't we? Oh, what's the one we watched 2 nights ago? Christmas with the Coopers?
Christmas with the Coopers, which was Matt Seafried.
I say art house. When I mean art houses, I mean I like guns and violence. Transformers,
it was by no means art house at all.
No,
it was a bit more highbrow than you liked.
More highbrow. You said I'm not highbrow.
And we watched Elf today, or ish, because the kids weren't that interested in Elf. What kind of child?
Can I just say, I'm interrupting, but it's still Christmas relevant.
Mm.
I've got a special Christmas Hawaiian shirt I'm saving for next Wednesday. Yes. So that's why tonight I brought the pandas out, which is my current favourite shirt.
I like the pandas. I think the pandas are my favourite.
The only problem with the pandas is when it comes out the wash, it's a bit snug, and I keep thinking I'm super fat, which obviously I'm not, and nothing wrong with it either. But it does feel slightly snug.
I'm still trying to get this black pepper out my teeth now.
Yeah, let's have a look.
No.
All right, it's gone. What else was I going to say? We're on a Thursday night.
It is a Thursday, not a Wednesday.
Yes.
It's a bit confusing for us, really.
We're so sorry. We planned to come on last night. But some very good friends of ours, if you follow us on Baylily Bell Tents, have opened up a sausage and beer...
A craft beer hot dog type restaurant.
Bangers and brews. And we were invited to the VIP night. And normally what would happen on a Wednesday night is one of us would go, like a couple of weeks ago. But because... it
was like a date.
Yeah, we wanted to support them and it was a date. So we're ever so sorry for moving us. Based on the fact we've moved it and the fact no one's watching right now...
no one on YouTube knows that fact right now.
Oh yeah, that's true. And actually, we happen to know a lot watch on replay and on podcast. So yeah.
With that in mind, if you are watching on replay, it'd be lovely to know that you're there as well. So do type replay and as a comment below. We'd love to see that.
I actually quite like it when the day or two later people comment and I'm like, what's that comment regarding? And I have to go and watch back and go, well, right, oh yeah, we said that because we do waffle a lot of rubbish.
So blog-wise this week, it's been quite a good old week.
Blog and vlog.
Blog and vlog, which we'll come to next. The blog, we had a real wedding on Tuesday that went live. If you haven't checked it out yet, please do, because it was like a proper prime example of how to do an outdoor wedding right.
Oh yes, very much
It was Becky and Omar's wedding, which was on a farm. They had a yurt, they had a stretch tent for a bit, and they had a bring your own picnic for outside, outdoor games, bouncy castles. Mum made her dress, Mum did chocolate brownies for their cake. It was all done on a budget of under 9k, and to look at it, you would never know. So if you haven't checked that out yet, do check it out, because some of the styling and some of the pieces are so simple and so simply done, but so effective. I think it's a really good one. If you are still in the early stages of your planning, if you've just joined us at the Outside Bride and you're just trying to get a feel for what kind of thing you might want to do, that I think was a really good blog to start with, to look at, to see what you could do on a budget.
It was just a bit different, wasn't it? It was just a little bit different, and it was lovely for it. So
I loved it, and by the end of it, one of my favourite pictures in the entire set of photos, and we are going to do a vlog on it as well.
Yeah,
is that
next week
they had
should be going live with the vlog on that.
A glitter tattoo station piece there, glitter tattoos and everything else. But the groom in his final pictures had like a green beard. A green beard, but like little baubles in it, and it was really cute, and I really liked it because
the
like,
run up to Christmas should all beard. I can't put baubles in mine. I don't think it's long enough.
and he just looks stupid.
On the vlog wise,
Yes.
then. So obviously we're going to vlog. Who and Omar?
Becky and Omar.
Becky and Omar. Do you know what? Earlier on, I could only remember Becky's
We try
name.
our hardest to remember every single couple we talk
do
about.
try. So next week we're going to do a vlog on our YouTube channel from Becky and Omar. But currently today we launched. So Kate and Tom was actually back in October at Wazing Park. I say Wazing, and Emily tells me off. At Wazing Park.
It's like when we were talking about Sasha Twining from Radio Sonic the other day, and he kept calling her Twinning. I'm like, no, her name is Sasha Twining.
All right. Anyway, it was just one of those. They really seemed to make the most of the amazing summer we had. They had a teepee and everything else, but ultimately they had an outside bar, an outside disco, outside dancing, and it was one of those. Hold on, the summer looks like it's going to be really hot. Hold on, our wedding day's really hot. Hold on, let's make the most of it. Yeah. So Emily's just recorded a short vlog on that. They're only about 3 minutes long on our YouTube channel. Links in this group,
and
links on YouTube.
I just pick out some of my favourite things from it, what I really enjoyed from it. I mean, it's obviously very subjective, but a couple of key things that you may not have thought about for your wedding, you might want to take away from it. You may not want to watch the entire blog in all its glory with all the photographs, but it just gives you a bit of an overview of what it's about and what they've done. And every single wedding we've seen this year has been so different. You may get 10 marquee weddings, but everyone has their own interpretation of what they want to do. We had the other amazing one from Devon the other day when they had bikes suspended from the roofs, and they had that kind of like cycling theme throughout it, and the beach. We had the teepee one, this one with Kate and Tom, but it was more really festively dancing, party atmosphere about it. We've had
loads.
There's so much you can do, and it's always worth checking out, just so you can pick little tiny bits from it. For me, this one with Becky and Omar was the bring your own picnic. I thought it was genius. You bring your own beers and bottles and stuff to weddings these days, but bring your own food as well. Why not?
Do you know what? I didn't see that when I flicked through it. How did I miss that? That's quite a key part.
And actually, for them, it was quite a small wedding party, but having that sort of bring your own picnic cuts a massive chunk of your wedding budget.
That's a lot of pork pies, isn't it?
She even admits, like, they spent their first their first meal as husband and wife was a fridge chocolate milkshake each and some dairy lunchables or something like that. That's so random, but they love it because that's so memorable to them.
Wow, that's absolutely right. Memorable to them, isn't it? So,
imagine that my first drink as a married couple being a fridge milkshake.
Isn't it Frigi? F-R-I-J-I.
Whatever. You know what I meant.
Hold on, you've just picked me up on something. I'm picking you up.
I'll have to.
Right, in that case, I'm going to move on to Black Friday. So we've been banging this out all week, because it's been available all week. So the planning sessions, which is our 6-month membership to tell you everything you need to know to plan an outdoor wedding. It's all live, so go to the Outside Bride / the planning. It's hyphen planning sessions, but it's there from the front page, from the homepage. And yeah, we got 25% off. That offer is valid until the end of tomorrow. And yes, that is Black Friday 25.
It's been really well received this week.
Yeah, a huge thank you to all of you who have joined the planning sessions. Yeah, absolutely. So.
It's been one of those things that the planning sessions, just to be absolutely clear, it's a self-study. So every single week we are drip feeding you in chronological order the things and steps you should be taking to get your wedding booked in. So for this week we've been talking, for people who started from the very beginning, we're talking about marquees and temporary structures.
Well, I just saw myself in the picture, so I thought I should sit up straight.
We've been talking about temporary structures and what questions to ask, and looking at how you should exactly lay out your marquee, to where your working end is, the amount of tables you should ask for your supplier to be supplying you, making things you remember things like cake tables. And if you're doing cake tables, making sure you have cake cutting knives and all those kind of things. We go through every last detail. So by the end of those 6 months, you have everything you possibly need in the order you should be ordering your order you should be booking your wedding in. So by the time you get to the end of it, there should be nothing, no stone left unturned. You should know every last detail, and you should just give that.
Well,
bit of
we'll know every.
You will know.
We'll know every last detail.
It's a really, really, really useful tool for you. Every week you get a video from us, you get a blog from us, and usually, depending on what the topic is, you'll get a download from us as our PDF for you to work through something. It might be a checklist of questions, it might be something you need to fill out, but everything will be there to help you.
Sometimes it's just information, isn't it? But like, as in, listen to this and something to think about, but other times it is a checklist as well.
If you haven't checked it out yet, why have you not checked it out? Make sure you do. It's a really, really useful tool for you. Like Alan said, it's www.theoutsidebride/planning-sessions.
Or just go to the Outside Bride. It's on the front page. It's on the front page.
Check it out. And every single module is written down with what we will be covering.
Well, there's going to be a post at about 7, 8 a.m. reminding them of the Black Friday offer going live. I'm going to schedule that this evening.
It's a steal. An absolute steal.
It is a steal. Well, it's not exactly expensive anyways. It's only £120 for the entire 6 months. And we're offering 25% off that. So absolutely do that. And it's all download and keep and videos of us, etc. Anyway, haven't we had a question?
We have had a question.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for doing that.
Don't ever do it.
I know. Well, just wrong demographic totally, isn't it? For those listening, I click my fingers in like a hip hop back in the late 90s style, which clearly does not transcend.
All I ever think when you do things like that, you silly man, is that you're going to get arthritis in your fingers.
Well, do you actually know? Side story. I had a wrist operation years ago. Well, okay, quick story then. Wrist operation. There's my scars for anyone who cares. There were 3. Because I had some wrist pain, and I'm convinced it's because I used to do that thinking I was cool, which clearly it's not cool when you're 40 years old wearing panda shirts. Right, anyway, sorry. The question, what was the question?
The question was from Lauren today. Lauren asked a very good question, and it was about whether you should look at booking a photographer who offers a videography package or a separate photographer and videographer. Now,
can I answer?
Absolutely, Karen. I'm just going to introduce you into your answer because we've talked about this long and hard.
We actually talk about this a lot behind the scenes as well as we have talked about it on the Outside Bride before.
Something we've considered not only from the perspective of our wedding and what we wanted for our wedding, knowing that everyone's different, but also my brother, who's a videographer as well, has discussed this many times about what is the best course of action.
Do I have to tailor my answer, knowing that your brother, my brother-in-law, is a videographer? No, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you what I think based on my opinion and current trends. But ultimately, it will always be down to personal choice.
Yeah, it's personal. Personal choice.
I'm sure you just said I'm answering it.
Karen, you can do them all. Personal choice, budget, and what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Personal choice.
If any photographers and videographers are watching this at the moment, we are completely impartial.
We're totally impartial, and we love you all. We think you all have a place. We genuinely think photography is one of, if not the most important part of a wedding, because the photos are the bit that lasts forever.
So are the videos.
Yeah. So this is opinion based with a little bit of fact on our wedding. So I think that the days of the 30-minute I'm going to re-watch my wedding aren't there as much as they used to be, and even as I said that, I guess
but it's the 3-hour.
The 3-hour extravaganzas. But basically, if what I think you want from your wedding, based on what we see and what we know, I think you want a whole host of photos. I think you want a 3 to kind of 8-minute montage highlight reel. And if the same person who does them can do your speeches and your ceremony for you to watch at a different time, then that's fab. If they can't, and you do want a copy of them, then you need a videographer as well. I think that's a pretty good answer. But I do feel we live in a world where, based on what we've seen from weddings and what I've seen weddings in the past and what I've seen weddings in the present, that montage is what you actually want. I don't want to tell you what you want, but I think that's what you want. Whereas if actually, you know, who's going to watch the 3-hour video ever again, right? But that doesn't mean you don't want it. So I actually, my best man, I do happen to have a video of his speech randomly that someone filmed, and I have watched it back, but I don't know anyone else who's watched it back. That doesn't mean you don't want it, and that doesn't mean you don't want a copy of it. So that's what I think. I think there are 3 aspects, and it depends which of those 3 you want. One's photos, one's a 3 to 8 minute montage, highlight reel, and the third one is like the long edit. Pick what you want and then choose accordingly.
Yeah. The thing is...
Whoa, I've answered it. No, I'm joking.
The thing is, we have seen, and especially with some of the blogs we've been doing in recent weeks, the quality of... We've been putting blogs up with the photos, and then we've been including the videographers' highlight reel.
Actually, it was Kate and Tom, wasn't
Kate and Tom had
Raising Park.
one.
Jack Webb Photography and Videography. Well, I did it today.
We had one with the style shoot today that we launched, the Italian style shoot, that has a short montage video. They are so beautiful, and you get a completely different aspect to what your photos are.
And with drones and everything, and 4K, it's just a different world.
And they're so much more discreet. Back in the day, even 6 years ago when we were married, they were still quite bulky, in your face. It was very traditional style, like getting the speeches in a full swoop, or having an interview with somebody and doing that, and it was really intrusive. And the last wedding I managed in September had... her name was Zoe, and she was a gorgeous little girl, and she really, you didn't even know she was there. She was so set back from everything, and she caught, and the montage is coming up. It's gonna be a blog that comes out in the new year.
It's a montage.
It was such a beautiful little, with the music behind it and the feeling, and it does emote so much. If you want that, then definitely make sure you book that in. If your photographer has the skill set to do so, that's part of what they offer. Fantastic. If your budget allows you, fantastic. But
yeah, budget's key, isn't it? Let's be honest.
For us, for our wedding, and this is only personal to us, we weren't prepared to spend the money at the time. Again, our viewpoint.
Did you just repeat what I said in a longer way?
Our viewpoint on a photographer back then was very different as well. We ended up upping up. We had an initial photographer.
Yeah, we went very cheap.
We were very cheap. Who was a loose friend of a friend who didn't fulfil in the end. We had to get a second.
Well worded. I was worried how you were going
to. He bailed on us at last minute. No. But,
we like him now. All is good. All is forgiven.
But we had to get a secondary photographer within weeks of our wedding. Actually, it was quite stressful, and we ended up our wedding photography budget went up considerably.
Well, hold on. How many years we've been married?
6 years.
So we paid
7 years, 6 years.
What about that?
6 years.
About that. So we paid £800 6 years ago, and he gave us a discount.
Yeah, it was a discount.
Yes.
Yeah. But we wholeheartedly, not only from having those photographs and now working in the wedding industry, we categorically say, if you are spending any chunk of money on your wedding budget and you've got something you really want to spending it on a decent photographer / videographer or whatever you want to capture your day is money well spent, in my opinion. Your opinion?
Yeah.
You as Alan said.
Yeah, I've already said that.
As Alan said,
I said it about 5 minutes ago. Oh, go on, go on.
That's the stuff that's going to last a lifetime. You don't care about your canapes, really. You don't really care about your confetti on the tables if you're having it. You will want to look back on that. So it's really worth getting a top-notch, not high-end, but someone who understands you and what your needs are. For us, we didn't really want a videographer. It wasn't something that was on our radar. What? Is someone commenting?
No one's commenting, but the playback's about a minute behind. So I just saw me give you hassle there. Keep going.
For what we did, and we never actually really used the footage until about 5 years after our wedding with my brother, videographer, who didn't...
Shall we?
No.
Oh, okay. I was going to... Right.
We might do it.
So here's a test. If you would like to see the montage from our wedding...
We didn't get a videographer. What we did...
have you not told this? You've been talking for so long. Go on.
We invested...
I'd like to apologise. I am giving Emily a hard time, but it is all done in jest and banter, so I'm sorry. But
we invested, rather than getting a videographer, for what seemed like a really good idea at the time because we had no money, we invested in some handy cams. Now, handy cams 6 years ago was still quite...
Well, it's very bizarre because actually the iPhone came out in 2007, but they still weren't... 2007?
We got married in 12. Anyway, by the way, so we invested in handy cams and we gave 4 or 5 to various guests across the wedding party, so they all got different aspects.
My tech head's kicking in trying to work that out.
That was great, and we had a couple of really sensible people who filmed. We had a couple of people who didn't really know what they were doing and were doing this, and look, speeches, which was quite head trauma by the time you watched it. And then we had a couple of very drunken people who, by the end of it, was doing some hilarious drunken speeches or trying to do down the pants shots and stuff that was really inappropriate. But by the end of it, we muddled together, and we had that footage there for years until my brother finally pulled us a bit. Barry's a videographer. He's a videographer, and he made us wait like 3-4 years. 4 years.
I think it was longer than that.
Maybe 5 years.
How long have we been married? When did we get married?
12.
6. Yes.
Until we all muddled together. But we have a montage of the day.
Right. If you'd like to see our montage, I'd like to see your montage, whether that be on the YouTube channel or whether that be on this video in the Facebook group.
Can you comment on podcasts?
I don't know. If you're watching us on a podcast, drop us an email to info@theoutsidebride.co.uk and say, I'd like to see your montage. That's it. Don't worry about anything else. Just write, I'd like to see your montage to info@theoutsidebride.co.uk. If we get, small numbers, if we get 10 people say, I'd like to see your montage, I will add it.
Really rude when you say, I'd like to see a montage.
No, it doesn't. Only if you've got a weird brain. I'll add it to our YouTube channel and share it out. Done.
Great. Can't
Done.
wait.
10 of you, please. That's it. If you want to see it.
Great. Can't wait. Yeah. But yes, to summarise that, do what you want. If you feel that your photographer has the skill set.
Someone has already written, thank you, Ian. I'd like to see a montage.
Oh, go away, Ian.
Is it time to do some wrist snapping again? Boom.
Ian was at our wedding himself, so he was at the wedding, knowing how drunken everyone's. No one really wants to see that, really.
Yes.
Finishing that conversation again. If you feel that your photographer offers that as a service and it is something that is good for you, absolutely go with it. If not, look at different videographers separately.
And if you preferred my short and succinct answer to Emily's long...
No one cares about what you have to say, and they all tune in for me. That's why
they all tune in for you. Oh, give it a rest.
That's why they comment on my post. They ignore your post.
Oh, shut up. That's the dodgy Facebook algorithms we try not to talk about. Anyway, I think that's it for tonight, isn't it?
So next week is our final Ask an Expert of 2018.
We think we're going to be back. So the plan is to be back early
First
January.
week in January. Or the first week that the kids are back at school. So I think it's the 7th.
I think it's the 7th as well.
Of January. We were back then. So next week we're going to have a little Christmas party, I think, in the Baylily / Outside Bride.
You know my only problem with that? My OCD, because we number the Outside Bride Ask an Expert, they won't tally up directly. When we get to 52, it won't be.
You need a new hobby.
I know. I'm a bit upset about that. I'm sort of tempted. I might sneak on for 30 seconds every Wednesday just so I can tally them up. I'm not going to do that, just so you know. No. So next week, penultimate episode. That wasn't me whippersnappering. That was me one hand into the other. We'd like to thank you all for watching tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Remember, if 10 people want to see our wedding montage, just email us at info@theoutsidebride.uk, message on the YouTube video, comment on the YouTube video, or comment on this video on Facebook with, I'd like to see a montage. You don't need to write anything else.
I feel like you need to break into song when you say the word montage.
Well, I did earlier, and you looked at me funny, because it's from Team America and World Police, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Montage. Right, that's it.
Bye.
Special shirt next week. Thanks, team.
Bye.
Bye. I've got to get up and go and turn it off. I know, because we've got a dodgy tech set up
I'm going
this
to just
week.
drink my gin.
Yeah,
Have a lovely evening and a lovely week, and we will see you next week.